Hi everyone, my name is Laura. I'm an occupational therapist and a yoga therapist. So what is yoga therapy? This is a term that's used to describe a profession where we take the tools of yoga and apply them in specific ways to bring about healing or self-development. Yoga therapy is a holistic system, meaning we are looking at the person as an entirety instead of just looking at this little piece or that little piece. We're trying to get the big picture of someone's health. How are they doing physically? What is their mental and emotional status? How is their energy? How is their social support? We're taking into consideration all of those things because we know that everything is going to create that overall picture of somebody's health and wellness, and that's what's really going to support healing in the long term. Yoga therapy uses a variety of techniques to support that person's health or healing or self-development. This can include yoga postures, breath work, relaxation techniques, meditation. We might give you a journaling exercise if there's something that we want you to think about. There can be times where we're just talking about yoga philosophy and how that can give us some guidance in terms of making decisions or going through the process of getting to know yourself better. One of the aspects of yoga therapy that I've seen to be helpful over and over is the process of self-understanding, or what we call self-study in yoga. And this process of getting to know yourself, really observing what are my habits, what are my internal patterns. When we bring that into our conscious awareness, we can then start to make decisions of what tools can I borrow from yoga that are going to help me to break that pattern of worry, or to help me to avoid sitting on the couch at the end of the day and instead get onto my yoga mat and do some movement and do something that's going to be really nourishing for my body so that I know in the end I'm going to feel better. When we understand ourselves and when we know ourselves really well, that's when we can start to make changes in our day-to-day patterns and habits. And when we start to address those daily patterns, that's when we see the process of wellness and healing really amplified throughout every aspect of your life. In some forms of traditional medicine, people come to the doctor or the therapist thinking that they are going to heal them, that they are going to fix whatever problem that it is. And in yoga therapy, we take a different stance, that we are helping to guide this person through this experience, and we're giving them tools that are going to help the body to heal itself naturally. We understand that the body is incredibly good at taking care of itself when we remove the obstacles that are preventing healing or preventing wellness. So we look for places where there might be some imbalance, and we will look at the physical body, the energetic body. We will examine relationships and thought processes. So we're looking at all the different layers to see where can we create more balance. And when we bring the body into that state of balance, healing is going to be a natural byproduct of that. One of the major differences between a general yoga class and a yoga therapy session is the way that it starts. And when you start yoga therapy, there's going to be a detailed evaluation process where your therapist is going to get to know your health history, a lot of your day-to-day habits. This is where you're going to talk about your concerns of what are you having difficulty with, where are your struggles that you want to see where the tools of yoga can maybe help you to bring some healthier habits into your day-to-day life. Once you go through the evaluation process, your therapist is going to start to craft a personalized practice for you. And this could include all of those different tools of yoga. There might be yoga poses or stretches. There could be breathing techniques or meditation techniques that you're going to work on. And it can be something as simple as a 5-minute practice that you use throughout your day, or it could could be something as elaborate as a full hour practice that is written out and customized for you that you can use whenever you feel like you need it. And then finally, the focus for yoga therapy is on empowering the person. So it's not about coming to a therapist so that you can be fixed. It's about us giving you the tools to take the best care of yourself, to feel your best, to become the best version of yourself through all of these amazing strategies that we learn in yoga practice. Now that we've talked about what yoga therapy is, let's talk about what it's not. So first, yoga therapy is not a licensed healthcare profession the way that I have to hold a license with the state to practice as an occupational therapist and as a massage therapist. Yoga therapy is done through a certificate program or through a certification process. So if you want to make sure that you are working with someone who is a certified yoga therapist, you can check with the International Association of Yoga Therapists or any of the other regulatory boards. You can ask the yoga therapist who they did their training with and if they are currently certified. The other thing that yoga therapy is not, it's not the same thing as going to physical therapy. So if you injured your shoulder or injured your back and you went to physical therapy, they would give you a list of exercises to do specifically to help you feel better from your back pain. Now, if you were suffering from back pain, your yoga therapist might design a movement program that takes that into consideration and helps you to adapt so that the movements feel better and that you can get that overall relaxation and maybe loosen the muscles in your back. But they're not going to be specifically targeting trying to fix that problem. That's more of something you would get from a physical therapist. Yoga therapy is also not the same as seeing a psychologist. So if you're seeing a psychologist or a social worker to do talk therapy, they would maybe go through some of your childhood experiences, what your life was like growing up, any kind of traumatic experiences that you have been through. They would talk you through that and work on your thought processes and your coping strategies specifically related to some of those difficulties that you have experienced in your life. In yoga therapy, you might spend some time just talking to your therapist and explaining to them what you are going through or what you have been through in the past. But the yoga therapist is going to look at that through the lens of what kind of coping strategies can I teach this person that's going to help them to maybe manage anxiety or to sleep better. So they're looking at it in a way of trying to give you tools to help you in the here and now of what can I help this person to do day to day that's going to enhance their ability to cope and is going to help to make them more resilient. It's important to understand that yoga therapy is not a licensed healthcare profession, at least not at this point. And because of that, we're not allowed to bill through insurance. So yoga therapy is typically a pay out of pocket service that you would do, just like seeing a personal trainer, or if you were doing private Pilates lessons, it's the same thing as that. So you're going to be paying out of pocket for those services. Now, the positive that I always like to think about with that is when you work under the insurance model, they have you do specific types of paperwork, and there are some restrictions on what the insurance is going to cover and pay for. When you're working in yoga therapy in a private pay model, it is so much more focused on that individual and what they want to work on. So it kind of opens up that client to get their needs met. It's not like a specialist who is just looking at one particular thing. In yoga therapy, it's very holistic, and we don't have to check off all the little boxes that the insurance company makes us do because you are the payer. So it's all about meeting the needs and checking off the things that you want to work on within your session. So the last thing that I will say is that yoga therapy is not a replacement for traditional medical attention. So seeing your primary doctor, seeing your physical therapist, seeing your occupational therapist, going to your psychologist, all of those things are still going to be a part of your normal health routine, and everybody is going to be on the same team. So it's not a replacement for traditional medical attention, but it is an add-on that is going to enhance what you get out of all the other things that you are doing to already take care of your health. So I hope that gives you a better understanding of what yoga therapy is as a profession and what it can help you with. If you're interested in finding a yoga therapist to work with, you can look at the International Association of Yoga Therapists to find somebody who is certified through their process to ensure that the person has gone through a lengthy education process and they are skilled in the application of the tools of yoga to facilitate healing and wellness and self-development. If you are interested in seeing me for yoga therapy sessions, please reach out to me through my email, lauragyoga@aol.com, or you can reach out directly to me through Instagram @LauraGyoga, and I look forward to hearing from you.